Joe Burrow has made comments about the Eagles Super Bowl, and it was nothing bad. But the one thing he said was the Eagles are paying everybody. That seems to be the key to winning. And he's saying that because T. Higgins needs a contract, and so does Trey Hendrickson. Now, with Cincinnati, their offense was not the problem. Offense was as good as they could possibly get. But what is Joe Burrow's biggest kryptonite? It's not that he can't throw the ball. It's not that he turns the ball over a lot. It's the fact that the O-line, they invested so much into that O-line for him to be running for his life more. Because remember, after the Rams Super Bowl, they were like, oh yeah, we're going to get you an O-line, buddy. You got us here without an O-line. Let's see what you can do with one. And the people they have signed have underperformed for Joe Burrow. And that's not the only thing or only key spot where they've underperformed. The secondary can be had. Their secondary is pretty abysmal, if you ask me. Pretty abysmal. Now, everybody thought it was just Eli Apple's fault, which, I mean, it kind of was because he was talking a big game and then they get decimated. So then they released Eli Apple. And then after that, Chidobe Awuzie. Guess what? He is not that good of a corner. And if I remember, Chidobe, he played for Dallas, and I don't think he was really good with Dallas either. Now, he'll make a couple plays here and there, but Chidobe Awuzie, or Awuzie, however you say his last name, he's not really the corner that you would put on somebody. And I will always go back to Cincinnati should have kept Jesse Bates. Jesse Bates was an anchor for that secondary, and he was the Minkah Fitzpatrick to that defense. But now he's causing havoc in Atlanta, which, love to see it. But as a Cincinnati fan, you don't love to see it because everybody was calling for Jesse Bates to get a contract with them. But they didn't sign him. They drafted Daxton Hill. And then guess what? Daxton Hill underperformed. I love Jordan Battle. I'm an Alabama fan. I love Jordan Battle. He's a thumper. He's a hitter. But Jordan Battle has underperformed. So now you're in this predicament where Jermaine Pratt and Logan Wilson, they're great tacklers. Great tacklers. I think at one point, Jermaine Pratt and Logan Wilson were both top 5 in tackles. And then Trey Hendricks led the league in sacks and didn't win Defensive Player of the Year because guess what? Defense underperformed. Giving up, top 3, top 5 highest yards when it comes to passing? Yeah. I think paying everybody is pretty good, Joe Burrow, but y'all need some defensive studs. Y'all need a corner and a safety and probably another corner at that. But hey, Joe Burrow is right. Philly paid everybody. They paid Slay. They paid Zach Bond. They paid Saquon. They paid A.J. Brown. They paid Devontae. They paid Jalen Hurts, Mulata. They got everybody. C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They got everybody. And hey, they're Super Bowl champions. They did it. They paid everybody. They kept everybody together, and Kellen Moore said, hey, I got Saquon Barkley. And guess what? We finna do terrorist things to these other teams. Rushing for, 250 yards against the Rams in a regular season. And then against Washington, 260, 270 yards rushing. And then, Kansas City did a great job stopping the run. But then, Eagles were like, hold up. Y'all so ready for Saquon, y'all forgot we have an A.J. Brown. Y'all forgot we got Dallas Goedert. Y'all forgot that we got Devontae Smith. And you also forgot Saquon can catch the ball at the backfield. So, like, are y'all really ready for this? And they paid everybody. They paid everybody, and everybody that they paid was worth it because it paid off. Zach Bond, I'm sure he's probably going to get a contract here with Philly, or if he doesn't get one with Philly, I am pretty sure he is going to get a contract somewhere else. Because Zach Bond's performance, I'm not an Eagles fan, but Zach Bond's performance in the playoffs, unreal. He was everywhere. And that D-line, I don't know what offenses are going to do about that D-line. I don't know. Josh Sweat, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis. They were coming, they were hitting, and there was nothing that you could do about it. So, Joe Burrow is absolutely right. You do need to pay everybody. But the problem is, you need a defense. They had a defense. They got the pieces, added Jalen Hurts, added Devontae Smith, added A.J. Brown. And then later on, added Saquon Barkley. And guess what? They put the pieces together. But they have a defense. Their defense was a clear-cut reason why they ended up going to the Super Bowl in the first place. Because if you look at the Rams game, they were causing turnovers. They were in Stafford's face. If you look at Washington, even on special teams, they were causing problems defensively and special teams. And so then, here we are, Super Bowl. People are like, yeah, Mahomes is going to three-peat. He's going to three-peat. I don't know about that. Because with the way Philly's defense was, it gave me glimpses of Legion of Boom days. Remember when Peyton Manning had the number one offense going against the number one defense, and everybody said, this is Peyton Manning, he's an all-time great, and he's going to decimate this defense? And what did Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, and Richard Sherman do, along with KJ Wright and Bobby Wagner? They gave him hell. First play of the game, snap goes over his head. Because I'm sure that O-line is a bit petrified of what's going on. They ain't faced a defense like this. So, Joe Burrow is completely right. They paid everybody. But they also put the pieces together defensively. And that's what you need, Joe Burrow, is a defense. So, hopefully Cincinnati can turn the defense around. Hopefully they pay Trey Hendrickson too, given that he just led the league in sacks. I'm sure that's something that they're probably evaluating. And we'll see what Cincy does. Free agency starts next month. I will be covering a lot of that. So please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.